Coming up, we talk South Alabama Jags football with the voice of the Jags, JD Byars. We talk Jack State football, high school football, and more on Southern Sports Now. Welcome in on this Wednesday. It is August the 16th, 2023. I'm Chase Robinson, your host. Glad to be joining you today as we're getting closer to the football season. We have great football in Alabama, so we're going to talk some Jags football, South Alabama in just a little bit. We'll have a high school football team preview for you coming up as well. But we got to start with our countdowns to football as we are inching our way closer and closer to the season. Our countdown to college football, folks. We are at 10 days away from the college football season, from week 0 of the season. Several games happening that day, including Jacksonville State and UTEP on that nationally televised CBS Sports Network game. So you can get ready to cheer on the Gamecocks in 10 days there at Burgess Snowfield in Jacksonville. But hard to believe we're 10 days away from the college football season. That means we are 8 days away from the high school football season. 8 days from August the 24th. That is day number 1 for high school football, week 0 of the high school football season. So fired up for some high school football. 8 days away from the high school football season. Exciting stuff there, and hard to believe we are at that point for high school football. So excited there as we will continue to get you ready for high school football with another team preview coming up in just a little bit. We're 10 days away from Jacksonville State starting the season. They've begun prep for UTEP. When you look at kind of how fall camp has gone, they've spent the first part of it really focusing on themselves. A lot of new guys on the roster, so they've been learning the offense, learning themselves. Now they're focusing on game prep. They're focusing on UTEP and what they're going to be bringing to that game next Saturday. But when you think about next Saturday, August 26th, and what that game holds, it's going to be your FBS opener. It's going to be your Conference USA opener. That's big stuff there, to have not only your first game as a Division I FBS team, but also first game in the new conference with UTEP. So it's going to be a big historic day next Saturday. If you're in Calhoun County in East Alabama, you need to make your way to JSU Stadium, Burgess Snowfield, there on August the 26th. 4:30 will be the kickoff there for just a historic day, and I'm hoping JSU Stadium is full that day of Gamecock fans to cheer on Jacksonville State. But we are 10 days away from getting Gamecock football in the FBS era underway. We'll talk some South Alabama Jags football on the other side. JD Byars joins us coming up in just a moment.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news, new faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
We are back here on Southern Sports Now here on this Wednesday. Glad you're joining us. And we talk all the time about the great college football, not only here in this part of the state, but really all across the state of Alabama. So we're going to go down to Mobile now, talk some South Alabama Jags football as we welcome on my friend JD Byars. He is the voice of the Jags. JD, how are you today?
I'm good. I got my order form here. How many season tickets can I sell you?
And see the Jags play, but I know it's exciting time down in Mobile right now.
Yeah. Speaking of season tickets, I work close with that department. They've already are way past their goal, but also nearing their record, which goes back to the opening of the stadium just a few years ago. So I want to say it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, Chase, they sold out of all of the premium seating, being the suites, the loge, the club seats, the chairbacks. Those were gone a long time ago here at Hancock Whitney Stadium. Folks are really eager to get back to watching the Jags after a 10-win campaign last year in that bowl. Transfer in, and Chase, the weird thing is, and I could ask this all the time, nobody's transferring out. That are key. There are some that you want to support because they've got talent. Maybe they don't see an opportunity to be the number one receiver. I think the last 4 years straight, we've put a receiver in the NFL. So sometimes those do need to depart. But we haven't had somebody come in and say, hey, LaDamian Webb, you rushed for over 1,000 and you missed a game. We want you back at Florida State, or we now want you at Clemson. Those offers have been there, but these young men have bought into Kane Womack's strategy. His culture is the big thing right now. He's got great senior leadership. They all want to be part of something special that's being built here.
That's exciting there to hear as far as South Alabama. So as you're getting ready for the season to start in a couple of weeks, tell us a little bit about this team and what folks are expecting with this year's Jags team.
There was an off season of reflecting and saying, man, we had that win against Mississippi State on the road a few years ago, but last year we beat UCLA in every statistical category. They had the highly touted quarterback DTR, Dorian Thompson Robinson. We shut him down. Had the lead late and tried a fake field goal. It was botched. We didn't get the first down. That's really all we wanted, was a first down to run out the clock. They were able to drive, kick a mid-range field goal to win by 1 at the Rose Bowl. And, man, the texture of that season could have really changed. We were that close to being the Rose Bowl participant. Instead, it was Tulane. Tulane beats USC last year to win the Cotton Bowl as the highest-rated G5, and that sets up for one heck of a season opener. South Alabama is going to kick things off at Tulane. That's going to be nationally televised on the 2nd. I think it's a night game. I'm sorry. I'm trying to drink through a fire hose right now. I'll take it on game week. But that's going to be a good one, the Jags at the Greenway.
Yeah, it will, and that's a tough game, obviously, for South Alabama to start off. What's the offense look like this year as you get ready, as you start looking and at what the Jags are going to be? What's the Jaguar offense look like?
Well, from a broadcaster's perspective, this is a dream, because I told you nobody really transferred out. We have 20 starters returning, including the quarterback Carter Bradley. He's on a ton of preseason watch list, and actually South Alabama now has set a record for the most players on a single roster in a 1-year term to have the most on preseason watch list. That's Bednarik. That's I'm trying to name some of the other ones, the Manning, the Werfel, all these different trophy preseason watch list. I'm trying to Mackey Award, et cetera. The Bolitnikoff Award watch list. So you got a whole lot of guys on an announcer's roster that I don't have to learn new guys. So I'm pretty happy about that. I already know their pronunciations. I think I should have mastered it by now. But that's what's great on both sides of the football. But when you have 20 and you're talking to somebody in the community, you do get to nod and say, hey, that does include the quarterback. And I don't care if you're North Alabama, Jacksonville State, UAB, Troy, or Bama or Auburn, you can handle retooling at some of the other positions. It's so crucial to have your quarterback to return, and plus the season he had a year ago. They're thinking some big things for him nationally, including potentially a chance at the NFL. A lot of guys say he has an arm very comparable to, if not better than, was it Michael Penix? Penix up at was it Washington State, and so he's got a lot of talent. He's the son of an NFL coordinator, so if that helps you, that he has a really good head for football.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff there, and I know when you look at South Alabama, you look at the Sun Belt. Several Sun Belt teams were kind of in the news last year, beating big teams last year, and kind of the spotlight being on the Sun Belt. How have you seen the conference as a whole just kind of evolve the last few years? Just as these teams, like I mentioned, were able to beat Power 5 teams to start the season. You guys had a national TV game against Troy, which was a fantastic game. You mentioned you guys going out to UCLA and almost winning that game. So it feels like the Sun Belt is just kind of that top-level group of 5 conference. Just talk about how you've seen the conference as a whole evolve.
Yeah, and go ask App State, because they're routinely beating North Carolina. They give everybody fits. Louisiana and was it Arkansas State both beat Big 12 opponents. One of them was ranked on the same Saturday. So the Sun Belt doesn't really consider themselves huge underdogs against anybody. Now, if ULM goes to Bryant-Denny Stadium, get your check, stay healthy, get the heck out of Tuscaloosa. But the biggest thing that happened that has, you used the term, Chase, evolve, is South Alabama used to have 2 non-football playing schools in Little Rock and UT Arlington. Very good basketball programs, but they didn't have to fund football, so they could throw all their resources behind those. UT Arlington has an arena very much almost identical to Auburn. But having them leave so we could be a better fit, and you at that same time, I'm not trying to throw dirt, but you had American Athletic trying to say they were really a Power 6, and they were pounding their chest. We're the American Athletic. You had Conference USA that felt like they were in a position to look down on the Sun Belt. That has seismically changed within 2 years, because the American Athletic lost their best members to the Big 12. They didn't react and had to take what they could. At the time, South Alabama, behind the scenes, the Sun Belt was working out of their conference office at the Superdome in New Orleans, went out, identified 4 really good new partners that fit a geographic footprint. That doesn't make sense these days. Geographic footprint. You got California schools in the Big Ten. So we do have some common sense, and they added, we love this one, Southern Miss, because that's a drive for them down to Louisiana, ULM, South Alabama, and Troy. They don't have to charter an aircraft. We add James Madison, big time up and coming FCS. It's had some great experience. They have come in very solid. I didn't know that was a public institution. It sounds like it'd be private, but they're very good at facilities. They're very competitive. Marshall has a tremendous history. And then, of course, Old Dominion, who sells out their stadium every game. Season tickets are always hard to get there. So those are very good additions. It helped us declare a much better and defined East and West. And then, you can play and rotate some of your opponents on the other side. And I don't know if you know, we were the last of the FBS conferences to move to an actual conference championship game. It was, actually, I got it right here. The first year was 2018. That was Appalachian State, Louisiana, up in Boone. So we've caught up with the times. And now I would say, without argument, is the Sun Belt is the premier group of 5 as we speak here today.
It is, and bring some really great football along with it. And just as kind of going off that, you look at the schedule for South Alabama. You mentioned opening up with Tulane, which is going to be a tough one there for the Jags going up against the team, like we said, who beat USC. But when you look up and down the schedule, what games in the Sun Belt stand out to you and could be tough ones for the Jags?
Well, week 3 we'll go back to Stillwater, and we're going to play Oklahoma State. It will complete a 2-for-1, so it'll be the third time we play them. This year, the team will be under the mentality they had going out to Los Angeles last year and Pasadena, and they'll be going in not to try to keep it a low-scoring game and at least have some sense of respect when they leave. They're going to go to win that game. Then you start getting into conference play, and hands down, we have a Tuesday home game. And when you're the Sun Belt and you're not a Power 5, you'll take any day of the week if ESPN says we're going to put you coast to coast. Here's the great part of it. That's October 17th, if I'm not mistaken. Southern Miss will drive over. This stadium will be sold out. It will be electric. There will be tailgating despite it being a Tuesday, and that's going to be really good. South Alabama is undefeated against Southern Miss, dating back to prior to being in the even better with them being in the conference. There will be a Thursday nationally televised game at Veterans on the road at Troy this year. That's also that's in November. Perennially, you would think, how in the world is good just down the road from LSU? One could say to Auburn. Well, Auburn, I would not say Auburn is on the same last 70 years as successful as an LSU, but yet there they are. And they have great crowd support. They have a great recruiting history. And our rivalry with them So now that we have that in a football setting is even better, but you really find out, regardless of who you are in this league, how good you are and can be when you play those guys.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And South Alabama it's not a new football program, but it hasn't been around for a super long time. And yet you talk about you go out and battle with UCLA. You're going to Stillwater with the mentality to go win that game. What's kind of the mindset of South Alabama being able to take on these big games, win these big games? I think about Jacksonville State here that I cover, moving to the FBS, moving to a new conference. Going to have to figure things out there. What did South Alabama do? What was kind of the foundation that led them to be able to go win these games and have that mindset that they're going to go win these big games?
It all starts on campus because the students brought it to the trustees that they wanted football. The trustees listened. The president at the time, Moulton, put his ink on the paper, and they started football. But the buy-in has been from every faculty member, every administrator, every staff member and employee to support it. A lot of times on college campuses, that doesn't happen. Faculty can be very diverse. They can be very academia, if you will. And they want to know that academics comes first and that the funding is there as a priority. I think this campus understands absolutely we're an academic campus. We're a medical school for crying out loud. But athletics is such a front porch. It's such, you establish the opinion of the program based on, number one, it's athletics, but also its facilities. So the best facilities, this program could be, with a new upper deck at football could be middle of the pack of the SEC very quickly. An arena that seats over 10,000. Eddie Stanky Field is very historic, seats about 4,000, and has state-of-the-art everything, including a brand new clubhouse. So the buy-in had to start here, but then the culture and the community and the region bought into it, and now they've kind of become territorial and are wearing the colors. They're wearing the logo. They're wanting to protect it, back it. They want to sponsor it. They want to attend. And that's tough to do, where especially this part of the upper Gulf Coast has been pick your poison. Are you going to be Auburn or are you going to be Crimson and White? But now South Alabama's been able to carve out their niche. It's not an old university either, Chase. It only goes back to the 60s. So it's not like you have a lot of third or fourth generation alumni, where, well, my dad, my granddad, my great granddad all got their law degree at Alabama. That's not the thing. It's very culturally diverse. So you get a lot of people that when they do graduate, they may go back overseas to Europe. They may go to Japan. They may go to Nevada. So it's kind of splintered in that case. You don't have a ton of in-state alumni who will stay in the state of Alabama. So we have counted on people to support that traditionally have not been Jag fans.
And that's really interesting as it has evolved down there, and really good football. And you mentioned Troy, always a big rivalry there, South Alabama and Troy. But as you look across the state, I know you played up at North Alabama. Just football all across the state, and that's kind of how I opened it. Is gotten really good, because most people just thought of Alabama and Auburn being in this state. But you look, whether it's FCS and now the FBS schools. I mean, football in the state of Alabama it's so good.
I'm still really close with Terry Bowden and his family, and so I wanted to open my response with Dadgummit, if UAB were in the Sun Belt, if Tulane were in the Sun Belt, and if Middle Tennessee were in the Sun Belt, can you imagine how fun that would be with Troy and South Alabama right there? But to your point about the state is, I played in that stadium there at Jacksonville State, where you are often located and do broadcast, et cetera. But I was a player for North Alabama. And what is frustrating, and I love the purple and gold, but it's a fact, is North Alabama, right after Jacksonville State moves up to FCS, back then 1AA, and after Troy had moved up to 1AA, reeled off 3 consecutive national championships at the Division II level, but they let the momentum stay right there. They never pulled the trigger. And look at how Jacksonville State and Troy kept climbing. Maybe Troy faster, obviously, but now Jack State, with the facilities and with the leadership, with a former UNA guy, by the way, Greg Seitz, have blossomed and are going to be a very good member of Conference USA. And if that was even another member of the Sun Belt, man, we would just have a ball. That would be great. Instead of a midweek baseball at Eddie Stanky or up at Jacksonville, you'd have a 3-game weekend series. That'd be so fun. You'd have a home and home in basketball. You'd rotate each other, probably be on the same side of the conference. It would just be so much fun. But North Alabama, I think they kick themselves to this day, because now, to add salt to the wound, Jacksonville State has moved up to FBS and are growing at a fever pitch and have the support. But yet North Alabama, despite everybody in the community wearing purple and gold, just really didn't up the ante financially. I don't think the entire campus was behind athletics. I think the ones that there are very loyal and passionate. But, now they're trying to play make up late. One more point on that is that when Jacksonville State and Troy made the move up, the financial commitment to the NCAA was peanuts. Just to go to FCS, UNA, I think, had to come out $1.3 million. That's just a check to the NCAA before they get anything back or even get a new schedule. So that kind of puts you behind the 8 ball, but it also proves if you've really got the financial support to do it. So that will have to change, but hopefully they can get there like some of the other great members.
Absolutely. JD Byars talking with us. He is the voice of the South Alabama Jags, and they'll get the season started there against Tulane. JD, really appreciate you coming on with us, talking some Jags football. We'll have to do it again very soon, but always enjoy talking to you, and appreciate you joining me today.
Hey, and I can't wait to hear some of your broadcast with the University of Oxford. I say that, I'm not kidding. Those kids, when they leave Oxford, they'll go to 90% of college programs in the country and go, wait a minute, we had better stuff at Oxford. That place is unreal.
Yes, it is. But, JD, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We will have more Southern sports now coming up here in just a moment.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
We're back here on Southern Sports Now here on this Wednesday. Chase Robinson here. Glad you're joining us. How about another high school football team preview for you as we're counting our way to the high school football season, 8 days away from high school football kicking off. So how about another team preview? We'll go up to Cherokee County for this one. The Spring Garden Panthers under new leadership, but same football to be expected up there at Spring Garden. Barrett Ragsdale has taken over as the head coach of the Panthers. Excited to see what he can do. He's been the defensive coordinator there under Jason Howard, longtime head coach there at Spring Garden. Howard left back in early July to head over to Coosa High School in Georgia to be an assistant coach. So Ragsdale was promoted to head coach, and he talks about the transition, going from assistant to head coach and how smooth it's been having been a part of the Spring Garden football program, how that's made the transition a little smoother.
Being there so long and being so familiar with the system and the kids and just, all the workings of the football program definitely made the transition, I'd say smoother, easier. And then having great coaches on staff. We've all been together for a long time. We're on the same page. So it definitely helps and has made the transition from assistant coach to head coach a lot easier.
Coach Ragsdale also talked about just the fact that being a 1A school, most of these guys are going both ways. They're playing offense. They're playing defense. They're both in very crucial positions. So he talks about just kind of how they prepare for that and spend the offseason getting ready, especially conditioning, knowing that they're going to have to play both ways.
All through the year in the weight room, whether we're at football practice, in season, off season, the guys probably get tired of hearing coaches make mention of, hey, you ain't coming off the field. Hey, this part of conditioning right here, you got to suck it up and push it a little harder and find that extra gear. So it's a year-round mentality. No matter what we're doing, we'd really conditioning is a heavy part. I know it is for everybody, but even more so when you got kids that are not going to come off the field.
So let's take a look at the Spring Garden Panthers schedule for 2023. They will open up the season in a Week 0 matchup on that Friday night, August the 25th, on the road at Sand Rock. So a little Cherokee County matchup there to start the season off. They will take on Coosa Christian Week 1 of the season on September the 1st. They will go to Wadley in a region game to begin region play. Very tough, always tough there with Wadley on September the 8th. They will they will host Victory Christian there on the 15th. And they will go to Winterboro on September the 22nd. They'll come back home to host Cedar Bluff in a non-region game on the 29th. To get October started, they will travel for a region game to Talladega County Central. They will host Pleasant Valley in a non-region on October the 13th. They will finish out their schedule with 2 region games. On the 20th, they will travel to Donahoe, and on the 27th, they will host Raglan. So you see their region, they're in Class 1A Region 6, is Wadley, Victory Christian, Winterboro, Talladega County Central, Donahoe, and Raglan. And their non-region games, tough non-region schedule with Sand Rock, Coosa Christian, Cedar Bluff, and Pleasant Valley. And they'll be open there on the first week of November, week 10. So that's a look at the Spring Garden Panthers as we get ready for the 2023 high school football season. We'll jump to a break. Put a wrap on the show. Coming up next.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brodney Sneed from both CARES and Direct Primary Care. Direct Primary Care is an exciting new model of medical care growing on both the East and West Coast. It's been recommended by Forbes and the American Academy of Family Physicians and others for individuals or small businesses with or without health insurance. The pure simplicity of a membership model streamlines the burden of medical care. It eliminates 60% of the overhead. That streamlining allows providers time to focus on patients with free, no copay, no deductible, unhurried office visits or telehealth visits with minimal waiting room time. It produces same or next day appointments and access by text or telephone during and after hours. It saves you from leaving work, wasting time and getting exposed in a waiting room. And the convenience and cost with barriers removed helps one avoid letting problems like a sore throat turn into an expensive ER or hospital visit for pneumonia. If you're interested, search the web for CARES Direct Primary Care.
Back here on Southern Sports now as we put a wrap on this Wednesday edition of the show. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel on the East Alabama Now YouTube page. Like the East Alabama Now Facebook page. Share it with your friends. Spread the word about Southern Sports now. Jack State Volleyball went on the road to Troy for an exhibition matchup last night. It was the Troy Trojans getting the win over Jacksonville State. But Coach Schroeder likes where the ladies are at right now and is looking forward to the season getting going next Thursday night. They'll start the season off on the next Friday night on the 25th as they will be in the Auburn Invitational. They will get to play Auburn next weekend down there at the War Eagle Invitation in Auburn. So Jack State Volleyball prepping for their season, but to fall in their exhibition game there to Troy. That is all the time we have for you today. Hope you enjoyed the show. Appreciate JD Byars from down at South Alabama for joining us today. We'll talk more football and all that good stuff coming up on the show tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow with more Southern Sports Now.